Yeah, boom! We're on the Tru-Mon Show, episode 105. Tonight. Let's see if we're live. First of all, before I start, yeah, it's going okay. I'm gonna stop the sound in the background. Okay, tonight we're supposed to be with Santos Bonacci. We will see if Santos can join us. He's actually having a mega storm in Australia, a massive storm. So we will see if he can join. But until he can join, I'm here tonight with Lily and DVG. How are you guys?
Doing great, thanks.
All good, thank you.
Good. I met Lily. I met Lily. Lily is new on the Tru-Mon Show, obviously. DVG, you've seen him before. I had him on my show before, and I went on his show, Conscious Mind, also. But Lily is her first time tonight, so I would like to, for sure, welcome her with open arms and with all the love of my heart. And yeah, for sure, you're like home. It's like you're home.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. And tonight, even if Santos can show up or cannot show up, we will see if he can join. And like I said, because of his technical issues with internet, but we will have a nice discussion together. I think, like I said, we are all inspired enough. Oh, Rob is here. Rob is in the house.
What's up, guys?
Boom.
Made it.
Big up, Rob.
I just speeded so much. Hey, nice to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you
Nice
guys.
to meet you, brother.
Yes.
So, Rob, like I said, Santos is having a storm in Australia, so I don't know if he's going to be able to join. But anyway, we will go on, and
here we go again.
That's it. We will go on together. We're used to it anyway. So, yeah. To start, we have Lily here tonight. So, I would like Lily maybe to give us a bit what you do on your channel and what you're about and all this, because people might not know what Lily does on her channel, and she has a great channel. The moment I saw her first video, I was like, I didn't even care what you were saying. I just wanted to hear your voice and feel the vibration, because you have great vibes. And I'm sure anybody that go on your channel, and then I opened my ears and I'm like, what is she saying there? So I started to listen more and more. And wow, you really have a great soul. And that's why I wanted to have you here tonight to give thanks for life.
Oh, thank you so much, Johnny.
Yeah.
So I am a student of the mystery, and mysticism is sort of my focus in religious studies. And I've just been a practitioner for a long time. And at the certain point, I heard the external guru sort of started talking to me saying, astrology, start studying astrology. And I'm also really interested in the Merkaba meditation, which comes from the ancient Secret of the Flower of Life text, where Drunvalo Melchizedek has this meditation. So, I started out in Tibetan Buddhism and was really studying that path, the tantric path of Tibetan Buddhism, and with a lot of devotion. And it was partway through that path, I just started hearing, go towards Hermeticism and alchemy and start researching these sort of things and figure out how these things go together. And so I ended up with astrology. And I sort of look at it, though, with a more esoteric, view, and am just interested in energetics. And I find this Merkaba meditation, the image of the 3-star tetrahedron superimposed and the way that it creates a toroidal field, really fascinating. And I almost find that every time I really start getting into a branch of mysticism, it goes back to this, right? And when I listen to Santos talk, so many things go back to this. And so, and he's talking about electricity moving and these sorts of things. So I'm interested in asking him some questions about how that relates to astrology wheels moving. And so that's sort of where I'm coming from today. So yeah.
No, that's great. That's great. And that's why is the electricity and magnetism and all this is becoming very, very interesting. People have commented a lot on the last video we had together. Some agree, some disagree, some think it's pure, some think it's nonsense. But listen, what can you really sense in the world today other than yourself, really? So it's all pretty much, I cannot sense the stars, but I can I can entertain the thought of something about it. You know what I mean? Like, if we're going to close ourselves and say, oh, this is nonsense, I cannot sense it, I cannot talk about it. And at one point, we are never going to make sense of anything, of the stars, of all the patterns, especially the stars pattern that's around, because come on, astrology is an old science. Yeah, for sure. It's been a lot of people been talking about it and putting it out there their way. But I think there's a base core principle in astrology that pretty much all the astrologers have, and it's the stars.
Yeah. I mean, it seems, especially that we're in the age of Aquarius, there seems to be this certain knowing that people are having, and we're all, and that's what this is all about. We're all connecting. We're all getting to this one. We're all getting to this point of, this knowing of whatever it is. I mean, even the way I see it, there's a lot I don't know. And the more I realize through all this, I don't know anything, but then the way he's conveying it, and, just all these different people have different views, but it's all of the same thing,
Yeah. And it's like the age of Aquarius. I really like that idea. I relate to this a lot. The age of Aquarius, the indigo children and stuff like that is really something that I resonate with. So why not entertain the idea? That's what it is. So give me, maybe Lily can tell us a bit more about the age of Aquarius. What's your take on this? And what's the whole thing about that?
Well, my understanding of the age of Aquarius is that it's like the cycle of the yugas, which is like sort of, it's like a rotation of, it's a different cycle. Like instead of like the yearly cycle, it's like a larger cycle. And that we've been in the age of Pisces, and we go through a huge rotation that includes the entire zodiac. So you'll go from the age of Taurus to the age of, anyway, it goes back. So it's Aries. I think maybe it's going backwards, but regardless,
it's precession. That's
going backwards.
That's what Santos says. And the easy way to understand that, you see a vehicle driving its rims, it's going forward, but slowly you see it going backwards. That's what precession is. And for a while, I couldn't really understand what the hell it was all about, but that's all that is that it's, as it's going forward, it's slowly going backwards. So that's why we're actually going backwards. I always wondered why it went backwards, but that's what precession means,
So that's the same effect on the wheel. When you see a wheel turning fast, it has the effect of,
that it's going backward. And I believe that's what he's conveying, is that that's just how it works. It's just the stars are not only going forward. That's why it's like, okay, well, why is it going backwards if it's supposed to be Pisces, Aries, etc.? It's going backwards. So that's why, we were just in the age of belief. Now we're in the age of knowing, and it's not about believing. It's about having this knowing, So, Also,
the age of Aquarius is an air sign, and I think that also corresponds with the rise in technology, because everything's transmitted through waves and stuff like that. I was watching something about sidereal astrology the other day, and they were saying how, like, the different ages, because of their energies, they help man to do different things. So, like in the age of Pisces, because it's to do with water, we used like ships and stuff for transport, and each sign gives man different ideas to create new things, basically.
Yeah, and it just seems, it's like the way, that's why, I don't have enough experience in all this. It's just that it makes sense that it was all about discovering, land, boats, water. That's pretty much what you're getting to, transportation of stuff, etc. Now it's like this old model, like the system we live in. It's almost like it doesn't work anymore, and that's why there's this struggle of this consciousness that wants to come out through technology and like through so many different facets. And it's like the old paradigm, the way it's modeled, it just doesn't work anymore. And we're breaking out of this paradigm and like, shifting into this new thing. And it's just like, I don't know where it's going. I don't know where it's going. It's just like, I don't know, where I'm getting at. It's just, I never know. It's just like, it's the age of knowing. That's what Aquarius is, so there's this consciousness breaking out.
I watched an interesting documentary from another YouTuber who I really like, the Leo King, David Palmer, and he has a video that's freely available now called about the age of Pisces, and he calls it the age of deception. And basically what he's talking about in this talk is sort of like the trajectory of the religion from the point of like the Constantine and, you know, in 325 and the Christianity and all of this, and this idea that, you know, and you can see the fish being part of this. And basically what he's saying though now is that, and, you know, my understanding is that in the age of Aquarius, it's more about the empowered individual, you know, and like us being able to put, you know, we don't need any intermediaries. We, you know, are embodying the energy of spirit instead of, you know, having it being obscured and confused by people trying to teach it to us, you know.
Yeah. And from what I take of the sign Aquarius, and this is, you know, what I've, you know, knowledge is what we've heard or seen and we pass it through. Not that I truly know what is what, but it's just that like age of like Aquarius itself, it's a man pouring water from you know, a vase or something, right? So it's like the water, it's giving. So it's this whole, it's like an age of giving, and you know, it's not just knowing, but it's just also like we're giving as well. It's just because he's pouring the water, and from what I've heard, you know, what I've
like the heart offering, right?
Yes, yeah.
Definitely.
So that's
I feel
why
that.
Yeah, so you see so much of you know all the evil in the world, but then you see this. You know, I don't know. I just notice when I'm out, you know, people are actually overall good people, even though sometimes it's like people suck and all that. But it's just like you notice people. It's just overall, it's just they want to help. You know, there's just more helping or something happening. You know.
Yeah, I do know. And also like Pisces is like the formative waters of like imagination and like spirit. It's like transcendence, you know, but it's sort of like formative waters of imagination and what we could come up with as our best idea. And then Aquarius is sort of where it turns into that energetic heart song of actually realizing it. So
yeah,
that's an interesting thought. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're that's my perspective on it. Yeah. And that's
so what something you talked about going back, the way that it looks, you know, the wheels. And every time I think about diurnal motion, which is I think what goes backwards, and like, so there are two ways that things go. I think about those counter rotating tetrahedron in the meditation, right? Yeah. Are you familiar with the Flower of Life meditation?
See it like that's the thing. I just crave all this. I just don't.
Okay.
I'm very much new at like. I mean, I started meditating, but I don't know what's the right method of doing all this stuff. You know,
this is like a specialty. Like it's like a special interest of mine. I wouldn't say that everybody knows about it by any means. Like it's not like super popular. Like it's sort of astronomical.
Right.
You know, do you know about this crazy thing that I think is so cool?
Yeah.
But it does those two. The two star tetrahedrons counter rotate like that, and that's what creates the toroidal field. You know, and I mean, I can say that it is, you know, a special thing to me, but at the same time, it is present in many tantric studies. Like even I found it in like a lot of the Buddhist tantra pictures. Like they don't teach it to you, but you'll see the iconography everywhere. You see it, and you know, in Judaism, you see it. It's the chariot of like Ezekiel's vision, and so it is. You know, Drunvalo Melchizedek did bring it out into our, you know, popular culture today more. But anyway, yeah.
So interesting. It's like, man, so much to take in all the time. I just
agreed.
Amazing.
What's your take, Mehmet, on this? The age of Aquarius.
Yeah, like I said before, the age of Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, and is an air sign. So, from what I gather, like I said, it's all to do with using technology and as our main way of communication and stuff like that. And I know Saturn is a ruler of time as well. But yes, from what I can gather, it's also, I remember watching something that Santos was saying and how we're crossing back into the what is it, you know, you've got I think it's where the Milky Way galaxy is. One side of it is the what is it again? It's like there's a binary. Our sun's in a binary with another sun, and it's something to do with when it gets closer to that, the vibration's higher. So the consciousness of humanity is higher. But I can't remember. I think it's Sirius. If I'm not
Sounds about right.
Yeah, Yeah, I think it's Sirius he was talking about.
I also know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you say it's ruled by Saturn. I sort of forgot that, like it wasn't coming to me, but like, you know, haven't you heard Santos teach about like the rings of manifestation and how Saturn was like,
yeah,
like Saturn's instrumental in that. Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Yeah,
and like
he said that. So 7 Lord, Lord of the Rings. Saturn is the Lord of the Rings, right?
Right. And like how that is like how we crystallize and manifest, right? Yeah, like, you know, Saturn is the crystallization of that. So that's really interesting.
Yeah. And also I wanted to add to you know, you saying Saturn is the ruler of time, and it's interesting that I got a brain fart. Just there's so much to go into. I don't know where to take it, but yeah, no, keep going. Sorry, I'll come back to me. It's just I kind of lost
another
it there,
subject I would like to bring on is the cell salt. Have you guys looked at his work about the cell salt?
Oh yeah, I like all that as well. I actually bought some cell salts recently. I've used some.
And can you tell us a little bit more about it, or?
Yeah, well, basically, the way it works is the body has 12 salts it should have. Because you're in your mother's womb for 9 months, you're -3 of the salts, basically. So what you have to do is the salts that you're minus of is the month you're born and the 2 after. So you'll be deficient of them 3 salts. So once you find out what salts they are, then you have to take them, and then it balances your body.
Right. See, like right now,
So it all depends on what time of the year you're born as well.
Yeah, I recently bought Celtic sea salt just right from the grocery store here, just to start off with. I just put it in most of my meals, just like, I don't know, a 1/4 teaspoon. And I mean, when it comes to the exact cell salts, I'm still learning, and what form to buy them, or and then I read about that too. You take, and even Santos mentioned it, you take your month of when you were born, and then also the 2 months after, right? Because that's what you'd be most efficient in. Also, sorry, real quick before we get into cell salts, I remembered what I was going to say. Just real quick, based off of Saturn and time, is that the whole idea with 2012, when people thought it, end of the world, blah blah. But which really, I'm sure we know it was just the end of a certain cycle, which was the transitioning of Pisces and into where we are now with Aquarius. And I remember coming across some information about what really happened at the end of that cycle. Sometime around 2012, we don't know the exact date, but what time meant for people changed. And that's there was a transitioning where, like, for every single person, time means something very different to everybody, and that's where something happened. Like, time doesn't mean the same thing as it used to. Now, where we are in this world, it's just time changed for everybody in this weird way.
But what I wanted to say is we are much more centered in the now altogether, and that allows us to manifest more greatness inside too. If we are centered and we're like I said the other day, we're going back home. We're going back home altogether, and home is love, consciousness, and pure love and pure awareness. And I prefer the word awareness over consciousness, because consciousness you cannot really.
Well, I think it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's just a word. It's just a label. But awareness, I like the word awareness because then you really makes you aware.
Yeah. See, I think it's interesting with technology that you were mentioning.
I think Santos is coming in.
Coming in?
I think so. I don't know.
You've got viewers talking. Carry on, brother.
Oh, no, I was just going to say technology. It seems like it's this new form of consciousness that we've never seen before. And it's making itself known in this strange way. We don't know where it's going, but there's a consciousness that's being brought about through it. That's what I think.
Yeah, definitely. Just to add to the cell salts thing as well, most people deficient of them 3 salts as well usually have problems with, because I don't know if you're aware, the zodiac is within the body as well. So you've got like Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer,
Leo, and then
so and so, and Pisces is
yeah.
the two fish. Well, I know that my mother's a Pisces, and she's always had problem with her feet.
There you go.
And also, my one of my relatives, who is an Aquarius, and that also is to do with the legs, has got problem with his knees. And
yeah.
I'm talking to someone who's got cellulitis, and they're born in like June, July, and that's to do with something in your stomach, and that's where cancer rules. So it all, when you syncretize it all makes perfect sense.
It does, in one way, shape, or form. Like, you know, for me, you know, I'm a Libra, so I mean, my sun sign is Libra, and I know it's to do with, you know, the liver, I believe. Yeah. But what I've noticed, the biggest problems I've had was my ear. I lost high frequency hearing in my left ear. You know, there's that balance, and now I don't have that same balance anymore. I'm forever gonna have, you know, muffled hearing in my left ear, and there's always gonna be that unbalance. I mean, that's what I went through. Not that it's necessarily to do with liver, it's just some kind of, you know, scales.
Libra balance. I get it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, that maybe has nothing to do with it, but it seems to me that, hey, I have to live my life finding a balance and not being so focused on, hey, you know, one ear is off for the rest of my life. I gotta deal with a little bit of muffled hearing, or because I have tinnitus too. I have, you know, ringing in my ear for the rest of my life, but you cope with it. And now it's been like 3 years and I've lived with it, you know.
I have tinnitus too. I have since I was a child, like, and I can hear, but I think it's like a psychic kind of thing. And when I get next to people who have a lot of energy, I can hear them. It's really strange. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's been an interesting journey through having this, just certain times where things get real quiet and then it rings out. I mean, it could just be the sake of it's just ringing. It's nothing more than that. But sometimes there's something happening and it gets real quiet. It's like, got to pay attention or focus to what's happening right now.
But this is what happened. Often we lose focus. Huh? That's what happened to most of us. We lost focus. That's why we ended up taking the default state for a while and waking up to our greatness and say, hey, I can do something with my life. I first can inspire others. You know, that's the main thing here, is to inspire each other. That's all we have, each other. You know, why not appreciate what we have to offer and put the false pride aside and all that stuff, all the ego and stuff. And it's no time for that here. No time for that here. It's a time of awakening to love, to pure, for sure. So there's no time for bad vibration.
Do you guys think that your path towards like realization where you are right now sort of had a trajectory that started in 2012? Like, did you see a quickening?
Yes.
That I did.
In a way, you know, I feel like it wasn't just that, you know, it's been the past 5 years that so much is happening, you know, and that's the whole thing. It's maybe not just a specific date. It's just, you know, from 2012 until now, there's definitely been a huge transition though for many things.
Mm-hmm.
For many people, because most of us learned about open our eyes, not learned. We opened our eyes, most of us, in 2014. That's when it was for me. So, you know, at one point, it's like, that's when my accident happened too. It's like, whoa, everything came and shake me up. But before that, 2012, I was working like a madman. So I was in a waking.
Okay. I just noticed more belief.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no, go ahead.
Maybe,
I was going to say, do you know that, well, my one happened in 2013, and I'm born in 1983. So they say that Saturn comes round, takes 30 years. It's a 30-year transit. So I noticed that when I turned 30, it's like I got that kick up the arse from Saturn to fix up and take a look at my life. And that totally made sense when I found out that Saturn has a 30-year transit, and it everything just syncretized.
Yeah, you notice it for yourself. It's, you know, it's what we notice for ourselves. It's like very apparent what's going on, you know.
It's funny, like astro nerd humor, that you noticed your Saturn return. Like, people notice the Saturn return. That's when you're gonna notice. Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah, it is.
Now, there's another subject I want to bring on, and maybe Lily has a great opinion, and you guys also, about that. You know, we're having an experience here, for sure. It's the experience of life. We're in our bodies. But at one point, you know, this experience will end, and there will probably be something after. My, you know, pinky here tells me there's something after. I don't know why, but it's too great to end that after I die. So after I, not I
Go
die, I
on.
don't like their word.
After you go on, man.
I don't like it. After
I know it's a weird word, isn't it?
It's a weird word. So we just, I don't like it. It just don't fit in my head. Dying. Like when I finish this experience here, I'm gonna go for another one.
Yes.
But what do you guys think about exactly because me, I think the moment I'm gonna vanish from here, I'm gonna go into another realm, but I'm gonna have the choice either to, like, what about the reincarnation in there? Like,
well,
is it something automatic? Do you think that we all go through reincarnation, or if you have done enough work on yourself here, you can go into the upper realm?
See, like.
Good question.
I mean, mine will be brief, I guess. Well, brief enough. I guess 2 hours on a podcast isn't going to be long enough to talk about all this. But you know, Santos explains there's the highest realm, and that's where it's the active part. You know, that's where you ultimately would like to be, is the active, wherever you go after you're active. And then below that, I mean, there's actually, you can find it there's like images online. It shows the top is active. The one below that, in essence, it's, you know, heaven or whatever you'd like to call it. It's the higher consciousness. You become a part of that. So there's the active. What's below that is inactive, but you're still up there. And then below that, it's like he's explaining also, you know, not eating meat and, you know, changing your life. And there's certain things you have to do to get to that point, you know? So then, you know, there's some people that are like, oh, you know, it's one life, so do whatever you want, you know? But like, I feel like there are certain guidelines and things that you have to work on yourself to want to get to a certain point, wherever that might be, though. You know, like, we don't really have hardcore proof of where we actually go. You know what I mean? Well, only based off of ancient scriptures. I mean, that's the thing. It's a tough thing to figure out. Where do we go? I mean, where do we go? You know, like.
I remember reading in the introduction to the Tibetan Book of the Dead how, and I think it was Robert Thurman writing, and he is Uma Thurman's father, and he is a professor at Columbia. He's very respected in the Mahayana tradition. And he was talking about how the Tibetans, like where we have, like maybe in the West, like this, you know, very accurate and reliable, and you can validate the science of lots of things. The Tibetans were able to do that with death. And he talks about how, well, I mean, it's in a very elaborate system, which, you know, I'm reading right now, I'm reading The Light and Science of Egypt, recommended by Santos Bonacci, and I'm kind of laughing because they're like destroying karma and reincarnation in the beginning of it. But part of it, I feel like, is because the guy who's writing it was in the 1800s, and he misunderstood the Buddhist view, because we didn't really understand that well, you know, when we first encountered it, right? And so, but, you know, my understanding is that the Tibetans have a lot of knowledge around this, and that the Dzogchen perspective of dying well, it's like, from what I learned, it's, you want to be able to like do it like jumping in your mother's lap, like it to be that easy to get to that open space. Mm-hmm. And that at the point of death, like there's an exiting out the central channel, and that there's an encounter of extremely bright white light. Like, it's so bright that it would scare you. And right. You want to go to that and try to liberate into that. But, like, you know, otherwise, like, reincarnation is the trajectory, right? But then some people also choose, once they achieve liberation, they choose to reincarnate for the benefit of beings, because, you know, we're trying to liberate everybody, you know?
Yeah.
But that's a dualistic perspective. So I'm kind of conflating, you know, like the one Dzogchen perspective with the Mahayana, which is a little, I mean, I don't know those words, that might be wrong, but like, it's a little more dualistic. And my mystic understanding tells me that there's something about the cinch between the outside objective world and my individuated consciousness. Like, there's not really a distinction between the two, you know? Mm-hmm. So liberating everybody would mean liberating only myself, because there's nothing, you know? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, there is some people believe that obviously energy never dies, so you're just transferred into something else. So for
Yep.
argument's sake, you might become a flower, your energy might become grow into a flower or a tree or a plant, or they say that you just always transferred into different forms. Basically, that's another kind of theory and model that I've heard.
Yeah. It just seems like I don't know, ineffable, because right now we're in the same box on this computer talking about this stuff, and it's like maybe I have had so many different previous lives that now I'm here in this one to awaken and to realize what I should be doing and where I will be going. Or
that's what
I feel very awake in this life, and that it's not for no reason that we're here talking about this in the same room right now, and like. So I just feel like maybe I went through, maybe I was a flower, like you said, maybe I was a tree at one point. It's just like now I'm in this life to, like, but I feel like I have to put in work to understand it. But then I don't know. There's always a flip side to all this. It's like there's people a lot older than myself too that are telling me, it's a path to unenlightenment. Realizing that there is no enlightened way of being. There's always that flip side to all that. It's just like live here in the now, and that's all we know is what's really around us and here, what we see. And it's like I just have this faith there's a higher something that you can't see, but you have to have faith in it. Like that's all you can do. It's never sure or certain. I don't know where I'm going with that.
But don't you think
I totally get what you're saying.
Don't you think some people have realized some of this now? Like I hear some people talk that I feel like have already, they've realized like a cinch that I haven't quite got there yet. Like it's, like ascending the consciousness, like on the Kabbalistic tree, like, like rejoining up into that top part, like Matt Kahn talks about it, like, and the way he talks about it's pretty convincing. I've seen him in person and like, I feel it from him, like,
yeah.
know?
Yeah. But it's like, what is it?
Also like just going through your chakras as well, isn't it? Like raising your consciousness rather than being at the lower material red chakra. We got to try and, like Santos says, get up to the green one at least.
Pass through.
Your heart and then go up, basically.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that, like, Santos is talking to me. He read my chart, and I'm sure you guys might have seen that episode I was with him when he was reading my chart, talking about, sexual energy and transmuting sexual energy and, not wasting your seed. And it's like, there are things to be done to get to the ascension part of, like, how do you get there? I mean, if you're over drinking or you're overeating, it's like to all these things you're talking about. I mean, like, will we ever get to wherever that is if we're not responsible and conscious enough to have some control in our lives? I mean, when do we let go? But what, like, it's a little bit of both. Like how much do you control? How much do you believe is true so that you can apply it to your own life? It's just, I just feel like, how do we ever know what is real? I mean, Santos is obviously very in tune with everything he teaches, and he's not the one who came up with all of it. He says, "Oh, don't have to believe me. Go see it." People have, they've been teaching this through ancient scriptures ever since the beginning of time, so it's like, how do we ever know what is the best ideal way to live? I mean,
I would say like when you do something, like for me, like I know when I'm being greedy and overindulging in food and stuff, after I feel guilty.
Oh yeah.
So I know that really I shouldn't have ate that, but I had it through glutton or through just being greedy. It's just, I'd say, what feels right and what feels wrong. It's just
no, absolutely. That's
the way I would say it. If,
did some.
You know what's right and wrong. Down, you accept it or acknowledge it, like we all used to do before we awakened. We knew these kind of things, but sometimes we just used to ignore it just to be a part of the herd. But once you get past a certain stage, you can feel what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
I did some research on this because I was researching the magnetic field, and there's this guy, Manly Hall, who does, you know, there's a lot of,
Hall,
yeah,
Manly
you
P.
guys
Hall,
have heard of
yeah.
him. Yeah. And he
I've never
talks-
heard of him, actually.
Oh,
Wow.
you never heard of him?
No,
Mark that
here we
man
go.
down.
Another door is opened for me.
Yeah,
And
Manly P. Hall.
there's a lot of talks by him on YouTube. You know, you can see a lot, you can listen to a lot of his talks. And one of the things that he talks about is how it's not a question of morality, good, bad, whatever. It's about the magnetic field, the torus field surrounding us. And that when we do things and indulge in ways, it actually creates holes or weaknesses in our magnetic field. And that there are other choices that we can make that actually strengthen the force field, you know? So that's interesting correlation.
Yeah, because it said there's no, you know, good or evil. It's just, I mean, there's many quotes on that as well. But like, I see what you're saying. You know, there's things like that's the thing. It's like we're so limited with our eyes. If we were to see exactly what we are doing, you know, but if we were always seeing magnetic fields and seeing what it's doing, you know, it's like,
yeah. And like, also I did hear Santos reading your chart, and I've been listening to this thread all along, and it's an interesting thought. And I've been thinking about it in my, you know, during my days, and I'm thinking, well, how do I raise energy? One, how do I create resonance in the lower chakras? Because that's something that I sort of suffer with. I'm sort of up high, you know? And so how do I...
We're talking about Manly P. Hall. There's 33 watchers. Is he watching? That's what the flattered subgenius said in the chat. He said, hey, we're talking about P. Hall and there's 33 viewers. That's synchronicity.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I like flattered subgenius. He's super cute.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. But anyway, thinking about this, about how to like create resonance in the lower chakras, but you know, that can be risky, you know, if you're not going to be acting on it. And so I'm thinking like, how do we work with that? And I've been like bringing that energy up into the heart chakra, you know, like when I feel it arise, I'm like bringing it up into the heart chakra. And then even today in preparation for doing this, I was a little nervous, like had butterflies. And I was thinking that's in the third chakra. Bring that up into the heart space. Bring that nervous energy up into the heart space. And it's an interesting.
Yeah. See, I find I'm having trouble understanding when people are saying, you know, like, oh, because I mean, I have a lot of friends too that are like, oh, so, you know, do you channel at all? Like, do you know how to do this or that? It's just like, I just know that I've been starting to meditate and that I have certain periods, you know, throughout, like maybe every couple of weeks or every, you know, like certain times, just, I don't know, it could be any time. I'll just feel this abundance of energy, you know, and I know it's something that feels right and feels just absolutely like incredible, but like, I don't know how do you bring up your energy and your, you know, knowing which chakra you're, I don't know. I don't really know how to like channel each one and know that I'm exactly doing this or that. Like,
I think you can pass imagery scanner. You know, those doctor has those imagery scanner.
Yeah.
It's like you can see the aura almost on the scanner.
Yeah.
You can see a lot of stuff through that thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you guys looked into human design and gene keys before?
Oh no.
No, I have.
Yeah,
I mean,
basically,
no.
What that is like if you look at a human design. I've actually got a show on it on my channel with a sister called Tanya Hadziva, and she's also got a website where she talks about it. Is basically you have an essence, a gift, essence, potential, and a shadow. And then it corresponds with each chakra, and it's got a word next to it. So it tells you that your shadow might be, I don't know, as an example, the shadow might be ignorance, for argument's sake. So then it tells you what you have to work on to become better and more spiritual. It ties in with astrology as well.
That's interesting. There's a guy here in Portland that I've gone to like a new moon meditation, and has like a human gene keys kind of thing. And he's a great poet. Like, it's a beautiful presentation when he does it. I'm gonna have to look into that more. Interesting. Thank you for that.
Definitely. It's really interesting because it ties in with astrology as well, because the human design, I think it ties in with like 8 days before you was born, like your basically 2 things. You're born with them by the creator, and you're born with talents due to your birth chart, basically, where the planets were aligned. And these 2 things are within certain channels of your body, and that's which makes up your the way you are, basically. It's very interesting. I'm not, like, how can I say, I'm not an expert on it, but I've got a show on. You can check other things on the internet. It's really interesting.
I'll do that. I'll watch your show for sure. Thanks.
Definitely.
Hey, Lily, do you have your own show as well?
I have a channel where I've put up some teachings. There are some things, some videos that I've done. Like, I'm really trying to research this idea. Like, I had this dream in connection to the Merkaba meditation, and in the dream they told me, they asked me, what's your travel differential to get to work? Like, what's your travel differential to get to work? And I was like in this mystery school classroom, and I was going, I don't know the answer to that. And so, like, I started researching it, and it turns out that it's like really fascinating, and it's about hysteresis. And so I have a couple of videos about that on my channel, and a couple of other things, but it's kind of new. I'm mostly a writer. Like, I like to write poetry and to write. That's really my talent. But but people don't read all that much anymore. So
short attention span and stuff too. So it's a way of finding a way to work with that as well, trying to cram everything into a short period of time so people will actually like pay attention.
Right. Well, and there's also something to the energetics of dealing with somebody's persona and their face that helps you to understand, right? And so something like hysteresis is a very complex topic. And so I think that, I need to talk about it more because it is complex, but but I think there's something to explaining it to people on videos that will be helpful to them understanding it.
I would love to check out your videos.
Thanks. Yeah, that's awesome. I really wanted to ask Santos about that term, though, because everything I've figured out is just things that from my own research, and it came from that dream, So, and he talks about magnetism, right? And I saw when you signed on, you had a picture of that nose that came out of the from the first one. Yeah, didn't you?
Actually, because I'm a musician. I produce music, and I've been playing guitar for most of my life. So I'm trying to just be inspired and try to fit all of this into music somehow. I feel like that's my journey, is for me as a musician, to figure out some way of connecting the 2 together, whether it be magnetism, syncretism, really just syncretizing music through this knowledge, whatever way I can. I'm still in the process of, coming up with all that. But yeah, like that image was actually, have you ever watched any of Ken Wheeler's videos?
Yeah, that's what I saw when you guys watched it.
Yeah. So there's this new, not that it's new, but like it hasn't ever been done before. Cute dog, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Ken Wheeler, he's showing you with the ferrofluids and stuff. Like, he's showing you're seeing the field, the magnetic field, and that to me is like this, breakthrough of like what people should be paying attention to. Like, we're seeing the forces of nature. So it's like that to me. I kind of make that. I'm really in the process of I want to make a mask, kind of like Daft Punk, or I want to come up with some cool mask of some sort of conveying magnetism in some way. Honestly, I mean,
that's awesome.
So that's what I'm in the process of doing. It won't be cheap, but over time, that's really my end game, is really to spread that. Come up with a cool mask and somehow like show magnetism in some cool way. So.
Yeah, like when he said, like, don't be mistaken, like, you're seeing sentience come through there, like, and it was like through like 2 computer screens, like watching it, like, and I was like, I see that. That is so awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just so you see down there, I pretty much just screenshotted it, and I have that I have an Instagram, so that's pretty much just like this whole thing emerging. It's very just appealing to me, and I want to take it further. It's just trying to learn as much as I can and convey as much as I can of the right information. I don't want to deceive others either,
Right. Yeah. I mean, I find every time I put out a video, it's like I learned something else the next day that would have applied to the video, but
right. But we're all learning and working off of building off of old works and stuff. So
can we hear your music somewhere? Are you on SoundCloud or?
I don't put a lot of music out there. I do a little bit, just because you know, I guess based off of confidence, I know I got to just like throw it out there. But I do have some stuff. I haven't just like a mini album I put out so far. It's just for me though. I'm not like signed to any label or anything yet, but it's slowly happening. So
when Santos read your chart, I said something. I made a comment in the thing that was like, you've got the Jupiter or something right at the Lion's Gate trying to push up, you know? I can't remember what the comment was, but it was, you know, I'd see that in you. Yeah. Like that your gift is so worthy, you know? And like, yeah, that
right.
You just said that about the confidence, but yeah.
Yeah, right. And see, and for other people, it's just like, you know, I'm 24 and there's, you know, there's producers that are already traveling the world at 18 years old. You know, some people get discovered early. Some people have the talent much earlier. I just happen to be learning about syncretism and connecting it with what I love to do and my passion, which is music. And any way I can, you know, any way of connecting visuals and music and just trying to come up with this way of, I don't know, putting this stuff out there through music, because that is my passion and that's what I am meant to do. I know I've already gone through many realizations that I have to pursue, you know, the creative aspect of myself, you know? Yeah. And so that's what Santos was saying, you know, I can't remember, like you said, not Jupiter, but, or it might've been Jupiter, or Pluto is in Scorpio. So it shows, you know, you have to transmute your sexual energy more so into the creative part of myself. So it's like figuring out how to do that. And then you said you're also can't remember exactly how you said it, but the process of how I'm putting myself out there is going to be a slower process than others, and I'm okay with that because I'm not in a rush to come up with the best way possible of reaching out to people. And you know, it's not a rush. Like that's the thing with time. There's no rush with all this. It's that I'm learning, and that, you know, just because I'm 24, it's just a number. You know, it's like I have time. You know.
Hey, I wish I would have been like you at 24. Don't say that, you. Come on. At 24, I wasn't awake like you are, or just not being awake, but wanted to know.
Yeah.
I wasn't in that kind of spirit at 24, so I was very busy with children, working and stuff, and you know, going to school, all kinds of stuff. So I wasn't really in that state of mind. But to see a guy like you at 24 in those Babylonian years, I don't like to refer to time too much, but that's what they say. Me, I'm timeless anyway.
Yeah, no, exactly. We're all timeless.
Timeless, forever young.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, that's it. So
just to add to.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. I talk all the time. They hear me talk all the time. Go ahead.
To add to what you guys were talking about, music and stuff. Music is what they say is what made. Sound is what made creation. So that's another thing, probably why we like it so much and resonate with it so much, because they say like the whole thing, and God gave word, and everything's to do with sound and vibration, and you know, why music connects so well with this. Because I was actually looking into the whole like Fibonacci thing yesterday with the musical notes, where it's like 1, 2, and then 1 and 2, and then you got 3 black, and then everything. I say like it's all perfectly designed to the whole Fibonacci.
Yeah. See, and
like the 1 verse 1.68 and stuff.
Yeah. So I, you know, all I can take from all of it right now is just to, you know, keep learning as much as I can about all of this, and then eventually I will get out there with what I should be, I don't know, teaching, or, you know, I'll get to a certain point where I just want to share this knowledge through music, through visuals, however I can. There's something else that needs to, because, you know, like there's so many musicians and bedroom artists doing what I'm doing, just producing in my bedroom. It's like there has to be a new form of communication out through it. Like that's why I almost feel like I'm the person to like make it happen through like syncretizing it or something. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's like, however that will be, man. It's taking time, but I'm okay with the slower process of it. And that's what Santos was saying, is that it was just amazing because everything's spot on. He's saying, you know, the way you're going to come out into the light, whether that be through, you know, because I'm not doing it for any reasons of fame or anything, not doing it for money. I just want to do it for the passion of it. But then also just because we're all part of the same thing, and that I want to just share as much as I can about it. So he said it's going to be a slower process for me, though. So
it's always to give your more to receive your less. That's what it's all about. You're always going to give more and receive less, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You have to give. It's about giving. So that's what I see.
Yeah.
I don't, we don't have to expect from yourself. That's all.
And you just see so many musicians like traveling the world and making money. And it's like, but it's not about any of that,
No.
It's
like, I'm just. You will paint your masterpiece. You will that's what we're all trying to do, is cultivate the mystic space, the heart of understanding, so that we can paint our masterpiece, and we make art, not war. And we seed the consciousness and illuminate the consciousness with our art. That's what we do.
Yeah. And I want it to be less about, me and what I'm doing with my music. I want it to become something where it becomes a collective of people, all for the same, thing we're all trying to go after, whatever, like just about sharing it with all of us, and that we're all in this together. It's like, I don't want it to, it won't just be like, I'm this musician with this music or something. I want it to branch off and have a bunch of me's and a bunch of just a collective of people that want to express their own stuff, but like through my inspirations. I don't know how to put it. It's really tough to put into words.
And here we are.
That's okay. That's exactly what I do. That's exactly what I do, what you express.
Yeah. Because
that's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. It's attach yourself to your passion, to what you love, and do that all your life, and the rest will come. Like, as long as you put love into what you do, this is our core being. It's love. So if you put love in everything that you do, and especially in something, you gotta find something you can do 7 days a week without being paid nonstop. What is that? For you, it's playing music, eh?
Yeah.
For me, it's speaking. For Lily, it's studying and sharing astrology or whatever. I don't know what it is, but
see, and that's the thing. I didn't mean to make it seem like self-centered or anything. It's the fact that we all have these different things we like to do, but I want it to connect. I want my music to connect with other people and have it be beneficial for the same goal. You know what I mean? So like, however that will come about, I don't know. I mean,
that makes sense. I think that's what we're all.
Come about the energy of your music.
Well, I'm thinking like, magnetism. How can we, how can I like connect, magnetic, connect magnets? How do I connect people to, like portray something, it's like.
It's really interesting, Rob, but like when I do that Merkaba meditation, it's music. I feel it. It's that counter-rotating space of dancing. It's the Tara Buddha going like this, like how that she seductively goes like this, It's the counter-rotating space, and it's definitely musical feeling.
Yeah.
So how you can do that. Like when you get that feeling going, like that's your music like has wings and takes off.
Absolutely. And of course I'm not going to be able to connect all the people that I want to, but I will connect eventually the right amount of people that are on the same page, or at least have awakened for themselves. Like, I mean, not that people haven't already done this. Like you go to like, I'm not sure what kind of music you guys listen to, but like, some of the shows I go to, it's, visuals is a large aspect of music now. And when you go to some of these shows, it's like, they always, the right musicians that I've seen play, they have something very important and compelling, and there's something deep to get you to understand. They want you to understand that, like, you're great, you can do it too. Like it's not about just that one person. It's like you can do the same thing, just go out there and do it. So like through visuals, at some point I want to somehow connect the idea of magnetism and show people what they should be focusing on, and so that they can awaken for themselves. Not to say that magnetism is the only thing, it's just, but it seems like that it's coming out though through the internet, and it's like something that we should be focusing on, seeing the real forces of nature and stuff,
Yeah, but that's it. For me, for example, I love reggae music, and there's that guy Jason that put out an album. It's called New Paradigm, I think, his album, and it's the Flower of Life.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I didn't listen to that.
With all kinds of symbols around it, you know, and
Exactly.
just that, when I seen it, it got me to think, like, what is all this? Like, it got me to research, and you have the pineal gland, the cone,
See, that's pretty much it. You know, it's not like it's anything new. That's the thing about it. I just want to be that other musician out there trying to do something meaningful. You know, it's, you know, even a persona or alias I might have, I want it to be, you know, I want it to be significant for, you know, some people might not think the same. They might just think, oh, just come up with a cool character and just live by that. But like, some people go throughout their whole lives and live by a certain alias that doesn't really mean much. You know, it's like, to me, I want it to be meaningful.
Yeah, you have a very unique vibrational signature, and you have to leave it here, my friend.
Yeah,
for sure.
So I mean, my you're asking about my SoundCloud. I mean, I recently just came up with a name, and it's Black Source Magnetic for the time being. That to me is that resonates with a lot of people. And
that's a dope name.
Yeah, thank you. And I actually came up with it. You know, I put a lot of thought into it, but at the same time, you have to get somewhere. You can't think too much to the point where you never do anything. So I was meditating one day, and it's like, while you're meditating, all you see is this, you know, this darkness, this black, you know, this blackness. And that's almost like the source, you know, it's the source of everything. It's like dark and black. So it's like black source, and then, you know, add magnetic to it, because there's so many names out there. It's like, got to come up with something that someone else doesn't have. So, I mean.
So I'm thinking about ragas right now. Have you heard about this? Ragas, Indian ragas. And it's a philosophy, like I'm really into mysticism. That's like,
oh yeah.
So
absolutely.
like,
me too. Yeah.
Ragas are like certain combinations of chords and things that they play to elicit a response, right?
Yeah.
To elicit an emotive response. So I was thinking about that as sort of an idea, you know, to research with regard to your music, but then also thinking about how like each of the chakras has a tone. And so, you know, I can see like moving the tone of the music up through the chakras, you know, in order to elicit a response as well, like as far as just technical
absolutely
things in the music.
And I mean, I'm sure that ties right into, you know, Santos mentions everything goes back to the ecliptic, and the ecliptic is a wave, you know, the sun, and when it, you know what I mean, the cycles and all that. So you know, you know, wanting to, I mean, at some point, you know, I'm an aspiring audio engineer. That's also, you know, just to have my own studio, not to be too much in the light, you know, just kind of wanted to be in that realm. But it's taking myself away from it and having more of like, you know, something else that's going to convey something. I don't want to be too much out in the light either, you know. That's part of the mystery of it too. I like to just be a little bit, you know, kind of away. But when it comes to frequencies, you know, studying sound, I mean, that it is a wave, you know, and frequency waves. So, you know, you have the 0 to, you know, I mean, obviously we can't hear past, I think 20,000 dVs, decibels. Wait, hold on.
That would be a fascinating question for Santos. If there are notes, like if he knows the correspondences of the notes along the wave. Right?
And I mean, I can tell you from just the production aspect of music is that, you know, from 0 to 30, it's the very low vibration. It's a very low vibrations. It's like, you know, the kick drum is on, you know, from between, I don't know, 40 to 50. And then past that, you know, you up to like 300, and then 400, you know, guitar will be more in the range of, I think like 700. I might be, you know, I'm still learning production too. I'm very in the early stages of it as well. I've only been producing for like 3 years, but, and then, you know, the vocals play into around, I think 1,500 to 3,000. So that might have something to do with chakras too, you know? So it's coming up with a good enough understanding of all this so that I can, you know, produce something that has meaning to all the, you know, chakras and frequencies and stuff. It's just coming up with all this, trying to connect all this together.
So when I was your age, I was very into this too. And if it weren't for the Grateful Dead, I don't know where I would be, right? I'd still be some like kid in Houston who didn't know anything about anything cool, you know, like I would be like ensconced in suburban life with the minivan. But like, so my first teacher, you know, I would talk to a lot about this, and he's a musician, right? And he had me read this book called Concerning the Spiritual and Art by Kandinsky, and Kandinsky's a painter, but that's also a fascinating read on this subject of what is, because I would always kind of what you're saying, like you could choose anything and it could just be like whatever, do whatever, but I am convinced that art, the purpose of art is for awakening. You know, like I feel that so strongly, and I felt that since I was young. Right. And so Kandinsky talks about that in this book, and it's a treatise. It's like a philosophical treatise, and it's pretty short, but it's very dense. But it's a really interesting read about that, and about how, you know, like our art, we should be considering and waging our art aimed at awakening, because that's what higher art is all about. Right. There's all kinds of art that's, you know, not higher art. It doesn't have the spiral of the golden mean. Right. But I know as an artist myself, it's like when I'm not even trying to do it is when I do it, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and it's because like I'm not channeling it, or maybe I am. That's why I can't like be too worried about copyrights and stuff, because I'm like, well, is that even really a product of my own genius? Because like I totally channeled that, but I didn't. You know, like I sat and I attended and I worked out the words and whatever, you know, so I didn't just channel it, but I did kind of. And when it really has that spiral is when I didn't really even try. But it's a conversation that I'm having with the external reality as the beloved. You know, I'm like trying to relate with spirit, and that's when my art is like, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But like Jiki said in the chat, also the music, and they manipulate the hertz, the frequency at what the rate you hear is at. So they manipulate a lot the frequencies and.
I've been seeing like all this stuff over the internet right now, talking about how those towers, what we think are towers for your phone, it's it's really doing is sending out low frequencies and messing with our energies and stuff. Like it just, you know, it does all seem crazy, but what if, you know, there's a higher evil intelligence somehow, you know, putting all this through, I don't know. It's just like,
to me,
all these, it does sound crazy, but like, what if like there's this force out there that doesn't want you to
you mean like a more organized, not higher intelligence, but
yes,
people who have more resources and an
exactly
to scramble awakening.
Yeah, exactly. Evil intentions, whether those are actual human beings or not, it does seem like there's this war of the cosmos of you know, this the other side, you know, yin yang, you know, just
because if we figured it out. No, go ahead.
Well, I was just I don't know what stuff that Santos has spoken about. Well, you know, below the like Earth, there's supposed to be like subterranean planets or subterranean places. Well, this is where they say that families get who they deal with, and this is where they get all their technology and stuff. Which the rise of technology in the First and Second World War and the whole like Hitler thing, like the real energy, and he made the flying saucers, and there's a lot of mystery behind that as well. So
there is, and I mean, and you and I were, you know, we were just messaging each other talking about, you know, like the blood of intent, and it's it's like, and the guy that made that video, he's like, we're going to be going, you know, a group of us, we're going to be marching to the center of the earth, and we're going to see what's going on over there. Like holy shit, like really, you guys are going to be, and they're going to be filming it too. It's just like, wow, I guess we'll see what happens. Cause like, I mean, Santos was saying that's where the supposed, you know, like demon / reptilian people are converting technology and stuff. It's just like, but you know, how do we know that? It's like, what do we know that's there? You know, it's just like, there's this that's the entrance to the subterranean planes you're talking about. It's like, I'm just curious what's there. It's like,
how are we getting there?
Right.
I can't even afford to go to Jamaica. How am I gonna freaking go to the North Pole? Explain that to me with my family.
I mean,
who's gonna pay for me?
It's like the way I see it, they're not going to go by plane because, I mean, at some point, military is going to have to be, that's what's going to happen. They're going to get to a point, and then military is going to be involved. A cutoff point, and military, there's going to be military of some sort there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be able to just go there because obviously it's closed off for some kind of reason. And that's why, you know, it's said that you see the Aurora Borealis. And like, I've been in a plane before a long time ago, and I actually saw that too. And, you know, what if that's that's, the toroidal field of like Earth. That's where all that energy, that green, green energy is going into this hole. So like there is something there. Like
there is something for sure.
There,
in the middle,
there is, but it's like, there's military surrounding it or something. It's like, how are you going to get there?
No, c'est sûr.
I heard
That's for
there's
sure.
an entrance in Mount Shasta. Haven't you heard that there's like an entrance to Hollow Earth in Tibet? And that's why and there's one in Mount Shasta. You guys can come.
Shambhala, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And entrance through caves, also through caves to the inner Earth. I heard about that.
Do you think that has anything to do with even in Paris? You know what I mean? Like where it's like they have like those. They don't want you going down there, but it's like there's a whole other world down there or something. Because there's like you go down. They have tours and stuff of like all these skulls. From all the bodies that they had. You know what I mean? Do you guys know about that? Like the like underworld of Paris? Yeah, they had a bunch of dead bodies from, I don't know if it was from some war, but they had to. I think it was from the gases and stuff. It was way too poisonous, so they actually ended up burying all of them. So there's a certain kind of energy under Paris. All those skulls. It's like the government doesn't want you going down there. But like obviously you probably never be able to get back out because it's too dark down there. But like, what if that's an entrance to kind of like an underworld of some sort,
Also, Los Angeles, that's the reason why it's called Los Angeles, is because apparently underneath Los Angeles there's supposed to be one of these subterranean civilizations, hence the name Los Angeles.
Lost Angels. Yeah, right. That's right.
I never seen that. I never seen it like that.
Come across.
Yeah, interesting.
So yeah, I don't know if I'm getting ahead here, but it's just like there's definitely some, like you can't go to the North Pole for some reason, and maybe that green energy, the aurora, it goes, or it's going into, that's the field, it's going into something, right? I mean,
definitely.
But
like, I want to know what's there. I want to go too. But
yeah,
I want to go to Jamaica more.
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's it. If they give me the choice, I'll go to Jamaica before the North Pole.
Me too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And
I'll
plus,
go smoke a pound of weed in Jamaica before I go freeze my ass in the North Pole.
Yeah.
In this book, can you guys see this book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, basically in this book as well, they talk about how the ancients, as much as they revered the cosmos and stuff, they revered the underworld as well, because they saw both places of creation.
Yeah.
So this also talks about a bit about the underworld and how the shamans used to go there and do practice and stuff like that.
See, and when you were saying, and based off of what Santos was saying, if they are indeed if they've been trading technology and all this stuff, I mean, it seems like it's being put into a light where it's something evil coming out of there. But then there's the flip side, and then I see this video about the blood of intent. You drop some blood onto a sheet and you like write down whatever it was. I forget exactly what it was, and then you go there, and then you're expected to reach this new world. Almost, it's almost like a beautiful place, And once you're there, it's like you won't be here anymore. If you go into some hole or something, you might not come out. I'm not going to go there, obviously. Like, I'm curious what's there, but like, I wouldn't just go there and leave my family and stuff, people I care about here in this world. It's like,
exactly. It's like trying to find an exit out or something, but I don't try to find an exit out. I want to stay here with my people. And wake
absolutely.
Up the most people possible. My brothers and sisters are going to stay here. What? And I'm gonna fuck up to the North Pole.
Yeah, exactly.
And what? No more Tru-Mon show?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we need you, brother.
Come on, we need the Tru-Mon show.
Let's go to Jamaica instead.
Yeah, let's all plan a trip to Jamaica, guys. I'm down.
That's it.
We need to start a GoFundMe though for everybody.
More plausible.
Let's do it.
There won't be nobody to block us to go to Jamaica. We can even go by boat from Quebec to Jamaica. Nobody's gonna block you.
Yep.
So I'll pick you up on the way, Robin.
Yeah, I'm only like 6 hours away, so
that's it.
Lily, where you said you're in Portland?
In Portland, yeah.
Nice. I really want to go there because I mean, pretty much because you know the show Portlandia. You ever watch
Yeah,
that?
totally.
I just have to go there and see what it's really like, you know.
It's definitely like that in like the 90s.
That's amazing.
It's funny. Yeah, I came here from Texas, so I lived in Texas like my whole life, and we got here about 3 years ago, and it's just night and day, you know. The most popular sticker here on cars, well, of course, there's one that's like a local sticker, like an Oregon with a heart in it. But after that, it's coexist. Like everybody's got coexist.
Artisan or something. I mean, dude, I was gonna say Fred Armisen is just a genius, like, because it's such a funny show. It's just like it's maybe not as excessive as they portray it to be there, you know.
Oh no, I think it is. It's crazy here, and the
That's
things
nuts.
like about the sunshine for sure though, because like if the sun comes out, we're like, I've got to get in that.
that skit where they're like they have like the beach balls and like beer, and they're all like they have one light from the sun just like spot on one point, and they're all like in there having fun, and it goes away. They're like, oh, okay, pack up the stuff, guys, let's go. Anyway, you guys have to watch that, but
Jamaica, let's go. I need the sun so bad.
That's it. Especially now, the winter is kind of staying a bit too long.
Yeah. But you know, like with dealing with the Middle Earth and stuff, and all the conspiracies and everything, like at certain points, I have to think, you know, like, you know, all of this, like I'm reifying my experience, like making it so solid and real, what's outside of me, and like it from a mystical perspective, like. That's all open source, you know, like really what's going on is the internal process that's reflecting on the outside. And so you know, these conspiracies. And so, I mean, you know, there's relative reality and absolute reality, right? So like, I kind of get caught in that because I sort of tend to be on the absolute side more, you know, you know, I don't have a lot of earth in my chart, like at all. Like, so
neither do I.
I don't have anything except I think my south node, which is like not.
But I'm curious. What's your sun ascending and moon? I'm just curious.
So I'm a Pisces sun, Gemini moon, and Sagittarius rising. So
interesting. My moon is Sagittarius. So and then my ascending is Pisces, and then
so we have
Sun Libra.
Similar.
And I mean, my girlfriend is a Virgo, so you know, I guess you know she grounds me. She keeps me kind of in this reality, because sometimes I'm very much in in the cosmos, you know, in my mind, and I always have this a little bit excessive idea of where like you know where I am. Sometimes it's like, oh, I got to realize I'm here, you know. I get caught up with music and you know being out there a little bit too much, you know, sometimes. So
right, may the jewel rest in the lotus, right? Like we have to, like the heart space has to be here on Earth to like be here for our brothers and sisters and our family, and we're here for a reason. We have to do this Earth thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe the meaning of our existence, it's opening our heart, you know, to the world and speak to the world and not cast away the fears. There's no such thing as fear anyway. Once you go through it, you realize it's nothing. I had fear to go on YouTube. I went through it. Bonsoir. It's gone.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, the only thing to fear is fear itself, right?
Yeah. You know, that's the only thing you should fear is fear itself.
Yeah.
Because it's going to consume your whole life.
Yeah,
think about it well.
You guys should go to YouTube and watch Jim Carrey's. Yes, Jim Carrey. Watch it. What? It's amazing the stuff that he talks about. Man, he was at some university. He had a speech, and it was the most amazing thing I've ever heard. You know, he was like, he said, throughout life, it's just all smoke and mirrors. What's real is the light that shines through you. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only.
You know, the people that sit in the audience might not really overstand what he's saying. They're understanding, but they're not overstanding. Put me in the audience with you guys, and we're listening to that speech, and we're gonna have goosebumps. We're gonna be like, "Wow, humanity is awakening!" Like, but these people, these people, they're just like most of them are entranced. They don't even like before. I get in touch with my dream, I wasn't even aware I had a dream, or I could work on a dream, or I was here to do something with my life. We're kept so under a massive hypnosis, I call it like that we don't even realize that we can actualize ourselves in the matrix instead of being sitting on the sideline and looking at the show. Look at ourselves. We're all actualizing ourselves in the matrix. We're all causing our little glitch the way we can cause it, and that's what we need. I'm going to cause the glitch the way I do it, your way, and it's very important.
Yeah.
So we cannot underestimate the any action that we're, especially when it's live on the internet. The internet is a conscious thing. Come on, and we're
it's a new,
we're not only affecting ourselves because it's elevating us, it's uplifting us, but it's also affecting the whole.
Yeah.
This is the thing, and we might be very humble, not really perceive it or something, but there's greater power at work that perceive it, believe me.
Yeah, it's a matter of just using the internet for the right reasons. Of course, it's gonna there's always gonna be that other side, and you see all the terrible things that come out of it too. But it's using it for positive reasons, like you are having the show, having us on here. This is like amazing.
Like I told Lily, I like to give the opportunity to people to come on the show and just say, it's not only my show, it's our show. It's the Tru-Mon show. Might call me Tru-Mon, but I mean, it's our show. It's our show. Yeah. It's our, I'm part of a whole. I'm not, I'm doing my own thing. I'm doing my thing. I'm not, but also I'm part of a whole, and I'm part of a beautiful family that we are. We're all brothers and sisters, and so beautiful and so enlightening and so inspired and so, so great, so much greatness inside us. It's time that it come out. It's time to let it shine. Let's shine the light. Shine the light on the darkness. We're all coming out the dark. We're all coming out the dark. That's what's happening, and it's the greatest time to be alive.
I couldn't agree. I know it's amazing to really just be like a part of this time in history where we do have the internet, and it would have never been imagined. This is totally unimaginable for people in the past to think of what we're sitting on a screen talking to each other in the same room. Like this was
live
so
on the internet, and there's people watching from their home.
Yeah, I know. This is so inconceivable for anybody in the past who ever thought what is this? We take things for granted. Like, it's amazing we're here right now. Yeah, I agree.
I give thanks just for that.
Yeah. Totally. Like, I was watching you guys do the first one, because I'm a fan of Santos Bonacci, and I found you guys talking, and I was like, loved you guys so much. I thought you were so entertaining and so funny, and just knew that I had this strong heart connection to, his other students. And it's just amazing, here we sit now connected for real,
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're in your own little town, it's hard to find the same people, right?
Oh, it is.
I mean, there's wonderful, great people all around, but those special connections, we can really have access to connect and create some strong energy now.
And not only that, we can talk about anything. I can bring up anything with you guys, anything. I don't care. There's people watching there. I can bring up anything with them also. Yeah. So, this is, we are in the moment of awakening. So anyway, I'm not torturing no cat live directly. You don't have to, I'm not torturing anything. I'm not doing nothing wrong here. I'm just speaking my mind, inviting people to speak their mind. So
imagine how long it would have taken for people like us in the past without the internet, had to ride on a horse all the way to the end of the to find people like this. Now we're just connecting people more quickly and for the right reasons. It's like
this is why.
And one day we all might really be in the same room together. You never know.
Oh, I hope so.
I know. Yeah, me too. Yeah, you never know.
This whole internet conscious thing, we must take it to another level. I think it's time that we start, also inspiring and coaching people to take internet to the another level. This is our consciousness. Look, we can put so much stuff on there, and we built it. We built it, not the maniac of the world. It's us. Forget about the maniac of the world. We manufacture everything.
Yeah,
It's us building this world, not them. We are their puppets because we build everything they want.
It's the old paradigm. It's not working anymore. And Santos was saying that the House of Cards, it's a fallen.
Babylon is falling. Forget about that. Babylon is gonna go away very, very soon. At the rate we're awakening now on this plane, it's gonna hurt. Babylon is gonna feel the pain big time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because we're awakening, so they're going to feel the pain. And we have suffered enough pain. We have felt enough pain collectively that it's a time of awakening. It's just that. It's just collectively we have experienced enough pain. We have enough. If I have enough, the whole has enough. If I win, everybody win. If I start thinking, everybody start thinking. That's how it works. That's how I see it.
Yep, we're so powerful that we can transcend all the bullshit out there. We're still finding a way to break through all of this through just talking on your show right now. We found a way to break through of the
to
madness
make
and all
it
that.
work. We're coming together and making it work. This is what Bob said before he died. Before he died, I don't like that word. Before he goes into the other realm, he become a star, because I'm sure he's a star.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Come together and make it work. That's what we have to do, and that's what we're doing.
That's
we
it.
found a way to make it work. We have internet. Let's go full throttle in this. That's what I do all the time. That's why I'm on every day.
Yes.
You know, I
Right.
realized that I was paying an internet bill, okay? For what? Just to watch videos on YouTube? No, I'm going to upload like crazy on the wire too. So
yeah,
this
that's
is
a good
what
way
I
to put
said.
it. Yeah, you're paying for that. You might as well use it to your full potential.
That's it.
Yeah, you're
like,
doing it, man. You are using it to your full potential.
Yeah, but at one point I was blind to that. I was like paying my bill every month just to watch videos or something, or to watch nonsense on TV, you know. And now at least I'm paying for something, and I'm also using it, and you know, I'm really going full force with it. And I think that's what is necessary. We are in a time that actions are necessary. Words is good, but I don't trust only words. I trust action. That's why that blood over intent. It's good. Intent is good, but you must have discipline. What kind of discipline you're going to have to bring heaven on earth? I have discipline. I come live on YouTube. I have a show. I have 2 channels on YouTube. That's my intent to bring heaven on earth right there. Right there. And I have actions matched to it. Do I need to go exactly to the middle of the earth to bring heaven on earth? I'm still debating that. But I think heaven is here right now, and we can bring it. It's already here. We don't have to bring it back. It's already here. It's like the love. We don't have to bring back the love. It's there. It's flowing.
It's a condition. You know, heaven and hell are conditions, right? They're not real places. I just said heaven and hell are conditions. They're not real places. It's what we make of it and how we, you know.
Exactly. It's like what it's again going back to the chakras. Being in heaven is just being in your higher self, and being in hell is just being in your lower self. Again, it's just energies, right?
Exactly.
Places.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Heaven and hell beats at the center of your chest. It's called your heart.
Yeah.
You decide the rest.
and I mean, Santos, the way he explained it, he said hell is really, you know, a representation of the wintertime. You know, if you're somewhere where, if you're not in Jamaica, you're gonna be like here, Buffalo, Montreal. You're gonna be in cold places.
I am in London.
Yeah, right. And the thing is, it's like, you know, obviously, you know, we have homes and stuff, but like, let's say if you're not prepared, you don't have enough food to be prepared for that winter. You know, like that's hell. You know, you might die. That's like, in essence, that's what it is. You know, it's just that period of where it's not as beautiful weather. The sun's not out as much, and you better be prepared for it. That's, you know, in inverno. You know, it's the winter, hell. It doesn't have to be tied to like a negative thing either, you know, but negative in the sense of it's just positive, negative, you know.
Also the Adam and Eve, isn't it? Adam and Eve. Adam represents a day, and Eve, hence evening. As well, Adam and
Yeah, now people are reacting to our blood over intent thing that we're talking about. But I want to explain, you know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not fully against it. I can put my blood on a piece of paper, no problem. I think I will still do it in my book. But my point is, we must have discipline with it. We must have discipline, do something, do some kind of action. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's good. You can put your blood on a piece. It has a lots of, for sure. Our blood is a magic substance. Come on, we cannot ignore the powerful thing about our blood. But and also the power to spill it out on a piece of paper. I'm sure it has a lot of power. But also you need to have discipline, and this is what most of us is lacking, and that's what people don't want to hear. They don't want to hear that part because they want to stay in comfort. Just put the blood on a piece of paper and say, "I bring heaven down to earth" or something like that. It's like, hello, what actions are you taking? Some of us have channels on YouTube. This is a great action. Start a channel, start speaking out, put your face out there. You want to bring heaven on earth, put your face on the internet. I want to see your face. That's my point. No, I want to see your face. You want to bring what? Heaven? So put your face on the internet. That's what I want to see. To me, it's a good action to start. You know, I don't ask you to run to the North Pole with your ski and everything right away. Take it easy. Take it easy. Start a YouTube channel. Start speaking your mind. That's a good way to bring heaven on earth. Just that. Okay, take action. The rest, And you can speculate, you can invent whatever you want.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I say, it's the same thing about the shape of the earth. You can think whatever you want. Doesn't change anything in the debate. There's no debate. There's no debate. There's no shape. So
this is the lesson of Saturn, right? Like discipline and bringing into form, you know, like discipline is strong. That is a strong lesson, especially in mysticism, right? Like that's a reason why there are ethical outlines and things like this. Yes, the law is one, and you know, it's like the law is love over will. I think that's what Aleister Crowley says. But like, discipline is really important, and we have to get that yoke, you know.
And now
going.
look, I'm going to give you a good example. Flat Earth subgenius, don't get offended, but you're very egotistic. I'm sorry, but you are, because you are talking about yourself. I'm trying to let you see my face. I'm not talking about you. Why are you taking personal? If you take something personal, that means I know you personally. I don't know you personally, Flat Earth subgenius. So why are you taking personal? Why are you taking it personal? That's my point. You shouldn't take it personal, because now you take it as your ego is being hurt because I don't let you on the show. But I was going to write you that I was going to let you on the next show. You see, so everybody is mixed up in their ego and their and they feel attacked. They feel like that's not my point at all. I'm not like that. I'm not that kind of person. I was going to invite him on the next show. You see, but now he's saying what he's saying.
Not too bad now. No,
to let you see my face, you won't let me on. It's not a matter of I won't let him on. It's not a matter of that. I'm not like that. I was gonna invite him. You see how people assume things because he thinks he's in my head or what? Like, who's in my head here? Just me.
Right.
At one point, we get so lost. Just assuming stuff from other people. Like, hello, talk to me before. If you want to,
it's one of the 4 agreements. The 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Don't take things others do personally. But Flat Earth Subgenius has some great videos. I've seen some of them that are just really like animated, and like he does a good job on his videos.
I love Daniel. I don't deny nothing about him. I love the guy. He's great. We're all great. I love you all. But just don't take it personal, because if I take something personal, that means the person know me personally. If I take it personal, but not too many people other than my wife and my children know me personally. If they tell me something, I will really start thinking, because they know me personally, and then I gotta start thinking. But if everybody's opinion becomes my reality, it's nonsense. It's nonsense. So in that sense, I just want to tell Daniel that I'm not, I'm not, it's not that I want to let him on. I'm not like that. I invite just anybody, but there's a limit to the amount of people we can have on the panel. We are 4 tonight. We were going to be 5 with Santos. So you want to give chance to people to talk also. Like, I've been quiet most of the hangout to let you guys talk, and I love that. But now I just felt like I had to say something. I had to say something. That's all.
Can I just add to what you guys are saying? What's happening, Dan? Also, I watch Dan's stuff as well. I've got a show with Dan as well. So, yeah, feel free to check that out on Conscious Minds TV. We did a show on Flat Earth. So I speak to Dan as well a lot. And yeah, Dan's a good brother and does some good work. Yeah. So it's...
No, but he's saying that now he's saying, I don't think I'm in your head. You're assuming that about me. What WTF? Like, I'm not, me. Like, stop the me, the ego. It's not about me, and the ego. This is what I perceive there. Me, when I hear me, hi, and stuff like that. It's
you know what, too? He's typing. So I say, has to say, have him on and have a real discussion. I mean, he's typing. So many people take things a certain way. It's their words. You're not actually having a conversation with him face to face.
That reflects your state of consciousness. What you write reflects your state of consciousness.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I be careful when I write stuff.
Yeah, true.
So much I and me, and I go with one because I refer to the whole. When I say one needs one because one, we are one.
Yeah.
This is, this is the change I want to see in the world. So when I see things like that, I react. You don't have to like it. You don't have to. You can unsub. You can do whatever you like. I'm not here to be liked, or I'm here to speak my mind and just let people see the change that I want to see in the world. And the changes stop the ego, stop the me, and the I, and all this is going to bring us nowhere. Like, this is just
I hate to cut you off, but I actually have to get going here because we're gonna
my buddy's show, but It's been
Oh
an
no, you
hour
guys
and
can
a
keep
half.
going. I don't want to interfere with you guys. I just have to get going here though. But yeah, it was really great seeing you and meeting you both.
Thank you. You as well. I hope we get to hang out again.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Take care, brother.
Yeah, you as well, dude. I'm sure we'll be face to face again. I'm sure maybe next time. Yeah.
Yeah. Next week with Santos. He said he would be on next week. So.
All right. Well,
See
hey,
about
maybe I'll see you guys next week then.
Yeah. We're gonna be back next week.
All right, brother. Yeah, nice meeting you guys, and we'll see you next time. Merci, Nick. Carl. Thanks again.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Dude, always...
it's like your channel. It's our channel. Don't worry about that.
Dude, it's always blessed to be here, man. It's really I have no words, honestly. Thank you immensely for having me here.
One love.
One love, brother. All right, you guys, take it easy.
See ya.
Bye.
Peace out.
Great.
Yeah, I was going to say though that like I think that you chose this panel because we all have like a real affinity and an adoration for Santos Bonacci, and we are hoping to receive the teachings from him today. So that was what went into putting this together. It just happened to work out that he didn't show up, so we just hung out.
We
so
just
it would have
went
been fun
on
to have Dan, but yeah.
We went on and talked, and we did something great. I loved it. It was super nice, Lily. You're very, very knowledgeable, and DVG also great mind. Like we're all super great minds. So we're gonna be back hopefully next week. Santos should be there with us. He confirmed to me that he would be there. So I'm not it's things happen in life. It's possible. Like what you want to do. That's life. So guys, thank you very much, and that's it. It was the Tru-Mon show with DVG and Lily and Rob. That's gone now. So rise and shine, live your dreams. We're out. Salute. Big up.